Right, so I'm hearing some
You need to go inside. You need to go.
Please mute. Can everybody mute themselves until it's time for them to speak?
We also had somebody drop off, I believe that was, but in any event, so the last option is nolo contendere.
La última opción es no lo disputo o no lo contendere.
And entering a plea of nolo contendere means you're not admitting guilt, you're not denying it, you just want to pay your fine and be done with this whole process.
Y declararse nulo no está diciendo que usted admite o niega la culpabilidad o de este caso, simplemente que usted quiere pagar las multas, es responsable del cargo que tiene.
You have to be eligible to use a nolo, and for you to be eligible, you could not have used a nolo within the last 5 years for the same or a similar offense.
Usted tiene, para poder utilizar el nolo, pues el otro no tiene que calificar para esto, lo que quiere decir que no puede haber utilizado el nolo en los últimos 5 años para el mismo tipo de delito o delitos parecidos.
Nolos help if you were charged with a moving violation to avoid points against your license.
El nolo lo ayuda a que no le den puntos a su licencia si le dieron una citación de circulación, así no le dan, no le dan puntos a su licencia.
Also, if you were charged with a suspendable offense, the nolo will stop a suspension of your license.
También si le dieron un cargo que tiene que ver con suspensión de la licencia o suspensión de algo, esto va a ayudar a que no le suspendan la licencia si se declara nolo ahora.
The charges before this court are all misdemeanor charges.
Los cargos aquí en este tribunal todos son delitos menores,
But sometimes we have city offenses that you may be charged with.
pero algunas veces tenemos ordenanza de la ciudad por la cual también te puede recibir una citación por no cumplir con las ordenanzas de la ciudad.
Because our jurisdiction only allows for bench trials, if you would like to have a jury trial, you can make a request that your case be bound over to the state court of Clayton County.
Debido a nuestra jurisdicción, solo aquí se permiten juicios ante un juez. Si usted desea un juicio con jurado, déjenos saber para trasladar su caso al tribunal estatal de Clayton para que pueda tener un juicio con jurado.
The only cases that we cannot bind over are city offenses. So if you were charged with a city ordinance violation, that has to stay and be heard in the city.
Las únicas excepciones a esto son las infracciones por incumplir ordenanzas de la ciudad. Esas no las podemos pasar al tribunal más alto. Tienen que ser lidiadas aquí en este tribunal y con un juicio ante un juez.
If you have a charge that may result in being sentenced to jail, you have the ability to apply for a court-appointed attorney if you would like to do so.
Si usted tiene un cargo en el cual le puedan imponer tiempo de cárcel, tiene el derecho a ver si califica para un abogado defensor público, si usted así lo desea.
Just let us know. There's an application that we must get to you for you to fill out to see if the judge can qualify you for an appointment of counsel.
Simplemente déjenos saber para que usted llene una solicitud que el juez tendría que revisar para ver si usted califica para que le nombren un abogado de oficio.
Lastly, most of these charges end in fines, and if you're unable to pay the fine today, we will give you either 2 weeks or we place you on probation to give you time to pay.
Y la mayoría de estas situaciones van a terminar con una multa o con libertad vigilada. Si usted no puede pagar la multa, se le van a dar 2 semanas, si la puede pagar en 2 semanas, y si no, necesita más tiempo, lo van a poner en libertad vigilada si necesitan más de 2 semanas para pagar la multa.
So having said all that, let me start with the people that I have on Zoom, and I'm going to go according to how my screen appears. The first person that I have here looks like Mrs. Alvarado.
Señorita Alvarado, parece que usted es la primera. ¿Necesita intérprete?
Sí, por favor.
Okay, yeah, she does need an interpreter, Mr. Mary Rose.
Okay. So, Ms. Alvarado, you were charged with 2 offenses, one of them being driving without a valid license. Do you have a valid license?
Señorita Alvarado, usted la acusan por manejar sin licencia. ¿Usted tiene una licencia válida?
No,
No.
Is there anything that's stopping you from being able to obtain a valid license?
¿Hay alguna razón que le esté impidiendo que usted no pueda obtener una licencia válida?
pues sí, no tengo ningún permiso, nada para tener una licencia.
Yes, the thing is that I don't have any permit or anything like that to be able to obtain a license.
Okay. Well, let's start with the speeding charge. What is your plea to that charge?
Vamos a empezar con el cargo de manejar exceso de velocidad. ¿Cómo se declara ese cargo?
Sí, culpable, yo sé que iba pues del límite, de más del límite que pues, iba a ir en donde yo iba. Y pues
Yes.
sí, yo entiendo pues que iba pues corriendo muy duro y además iba como en bajadita, por eso ya corrí mucho.
Yes, I plead guilty to the charge because I know I was going faster than the speed limit, and on top of that, I was downhill, and I know I was going faster there.
And in reference to the no license charge, what is your plea?
¿Y cómo se declara al cargo de no tener licencia?
Mm, pues sí, culpable porque pues yo sé que pues no se debe manejar así sin licencia y todo eso, pero pues la necesidad lo obliga a uno también a manejar
Yes,
así.
I am going to plead guilty because I don't have a license, but I did it out of necessity. You know, that's the only reason why, I have to do that.
All right, Ms. Payton or Ms. Yates, do you guys have Ms. Alvarado's history so I can see if she's been charged with this before?
We currently don't have that information. Our system is down.
Okay. All right, Ms. Alvarado, have you been charged with the no license previously?
Señorita Alvarado, ¿usted la han acusado por manejar sin licencia anteriormente?
No, es mi primera vez.
No, this is my first time.
All right. Seeing as how I can't verify that, I'm gonna go with trusting that she's telling me the truth. I'll amend that driving without a valid license to an expired license.
Ok, como no podemos revisar ahorita su expediente porque el sistema no está funcionando de la computadora, entonces voy a aceptar lo que usted me dice y voy a enmendarle el cargo en lugar de cargo de no licencia a un cargo de manejar con licencia vencida para que le beneficie en su expediente.
And
Ok, está bien.
Ms. Yates or Ms. Payton, can you tell me what the fine total is going to be on both of those charges?
925.
So Ms.
Okay.
Alvarado, total fine is $925. Are you able to take care of that within 2 weeks, or do you need longer?
Señorita Alvarado, la multa total para los dos cargos son 925. ¿Usted cree que lo puede pagar hoy, a más tardar en 2 semanas, o necesita más de 2 semanas para pagarlo?
Sí, hoy, si se puede, hoy lo voy a pagar.
If I can do it today, I will pay it today.
All right, and for the remaining people who are on the Zoom, could you guys go ahead and enter your email address with your name into the chat? Because we're going to correspond with you via email. So we need to go ahead and have that entered in.
Ok, sí, por favor, todos pueden colocar su nombre completo y su correo electrónico en el chat, porque así nos vamos a comunicar con ustedes después que terminemos la sesión ahora aquí.
Ok, está bien.
Ok, ¿sabe cómo hacerlo? Apriete el que dice chat y va a buscar el que dice FMPC y entonces ahí pone su nombre completo y su correo electrónico.
And if she wants to just give you hers, we can just.
Ok. Si me quiere dar su correo electrónico para ayudárselos a ellos, dígamelo despacito.
Sí, está.
¿Cuál es?
Es Nelcy
Ok,
Alvarado,
ok, un momento, Alvarado, ajá,
@, no, el
ajá,
primero es 566,
566,
arroba,
ajá, pero le estoy corrigiendo, 566,
sí,
ok, 566 arroba qué,
gmail.com,
arroba qué,
gmail.com,
ok, Gmail, porque no lo podía escuchar. Entonces, Nelcy Alvarado 566 @gmail.com, ok, ¿correcto? Ok, it is her name, Nelcy Alvarado 566 @gmail.com.
All right, so we have that listed, Ms. Alvarado. You can go ahead and disengage. We're going to email you instructions on making that payment within 2 weeks, but you can come down to the courthouse anytime before that 2 weeks is up and make the payment.
Ok, señor Alvarado, le vamos a mandar un correo electrónico diciéndole las instrucciones cómo debe pagar. Tiene hasta 2 semanas para pagar, pero usted puede venir en persona a cualquier momento, mañana, cualquier día, para que pague en persona. Pero le van a mandar unos documentos de correo electrónico para que lo tenga de todas formas. Y después de ahorita, si no tiene preguntas, se puede retirar.
Sí, está bien, gracias.
Ok, thank you. Se puede retirar ahora.
All right, so then I have Brandy Willis.
Yes.
Miss Willis. Find you here, okay. Failure to signal lane change charge. What is your plea to that charge, ma'am?
Not guilty.
Not guilty, all right. And did we get your email into the chat?
Yes.
We have that information.
All right, so I'm gonna email you a document for you to enter your not guilty plea. We're also gonna send you your new court date, which will be a trial date. Make sure that you look out for that information, and we'll see you back here at your trial date. You can go ahead and disengage.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, and then I have Mr. Banks, Kadarius Banks. Mr. Banks, you're on mute, sir. Can you take yourself off mute?
Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good. So Mr. Banks, what is your plea to the 2 charges that you have?
I'm going to say guilty.
Okay. And Madam Clerk, what is the fine amount for those 2 charges?
$860.
So the total fine is $860. Mr. Banks, are you able to pay that within 2 weeks, or do you need longer?
To be honest, I might need a little longer.
Okay. So what we'll do is we're going to email you, and I see that you've already put your email into the chat. We're going to email you instructions on how to pay over time. But if you're able to pay within 2 weeks, then you can just take care of it then, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, so you can go ahead and disengage. Just look out for that email with instructions on how to pay it over time, okay?
Yes, sir. Have a good evening.
Thank you, sir. You too.
All right.
Okay. All right, so Miss Woods, hey, can you guys set me up in a breakout room real quick so we need to talk to Miss Woods about her client, Mr. Cummings?
TJ Johnson.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, what's your last name? Johnson, correct?
Yeah, correct.
First name?
Tenor.
I'm sorry.
Tenoris?
Say this more.
Did you say Tenoris?
Yeah.
I think that was this morning.
I think you were.
No, I say 1 p.m. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Are you near the courthouse?
No, I'm not nowhere near the courthouse.
Okay, hold on for 1 second. Yes, you want to check. Thank you guys for your patience. We're going to start in a few minutes. Once we get, you may want to step in the hallway with your attorney. Yes. For him? That's coming, right? What is it?
2475. Break down.
Yeah, you might have to for Mayor Rose, but I'm good.
Miss Green,
Yes.
I was going to ask you, will it be possible to call the interpreting cases after Mr. Mary Rose comes back to the Zoom
Oh, I
hearing?
don't have any problem with that. I could tell you how many it is. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Well, you're in charge. I have to check with you.
Not me. I'm trying not to be.
You sound like my husband.
Yolanda.
Uh-huh.
So it looks like there was some sort of an error when he was entered in. I'm seeing an FTA in here that it shouldn't be for today's date.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and hear him today. What was that charge?
Improper turn operating vehicle with suspended license.
Nah.
Sir, hold on.
The tag was suspended.
Hold on, sir.
Somebody just walked in. Raymond Gates.
So is that now? Yeah, I'm doing that.
Six people. That's gonna need assistance.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it. It's suspended cancel registration.
All right. So, well, got TJ Johnson on here now. That wasn't on here before I left, was it?
Yes, he was. We were just trying to confirm his ticket.
Oh, okay. Let me go back to find him then, Mr. Johnson.
He's not on the docket for some reason, but
Oh, he's
there's a
not.
mix up with the court, his court date, the officer wrote. But he does have, does he have 2 tickets? 2 tickets. And
Okay.
Miss Yates is pulling them now.
Okay, so you want me to come back to him?
Yeah, we can come back.
All right, TJ Johnson. All right, so Ms. Green, you're physically there, so how do you want to handle the folks in the courtroom? You want to just bring them up one by one?
Yes, we can. Now, Miss Otta had a request, but that's definitely on you. She
Is it-
wanted to know if she can handle the Hispanic cases first.
Absolutely. You know, I'm gonna make sure that you're taken care of because you're the only person on Zoom who'll let me know if I have some cilantro in my teeth while I'm talking. The other ladies just let me be embarrassed.
Okay, so the first one we have that is here is Miss Golanza.
Golaza Liliona. Golaza,
Yes, ma'am.
señorita. Golaza Liliona, por favor, acérquese al podio.
What page is she on?
She's on page 9.
There we go. Okay. Onto Liliana, there was leash law violation.
El cargo es porque no tenía al perro o al animal, lo tenía suelto.
And what is her plea to that charge?
¿Cómo se declara el cargo de no tener, de tener el animalito suelto?
Culpable.
Guilty.
Okay. What is that fine amount, Miss Yates?
That fine amount, $335.
And so, Miss, that fine amount is $335. Are you able to pay that today, or do you need, I'm sorry, within 2 weeks, or do you need longer?
Señorita Liliana, la multa es $335. ¿Lo puede pagar hoy, a más tardar en 2 semanas o más de 2 semanas? Necesita más tiempo para pagarlo.
2 semanas.
In 2 weeks.
And Miss Green, do you need her to sign anything before she leaves there in front of you today?
I can barely hear you, Solicitor. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I said, do you need her to sign anything before she leaves there in front of you today?
Yes, I'm gonna give her this, the deferred payment agreement.
Le va a dar un documento para que usted lo firme, que es el documento que usted se compromete a pagar a más tardar en 2 semanas, ¿ok? Se lo va a dar la señorita ahora.
All right, who you got next?
Okay, Ms. Otter, have her sign the plea form and the payment agreement.
Por favor, firme el documento de cómo se declara y también el documento, el contrato que se compromete a pagar a más tardar en 2 semanas. Firme esos 2 documentos, señorita.
Thank you. The next one, Ms. Otter, is Miguel Alvarado Hernandez.
Okay, I forget him. He's on page 11.
Yes.
Okay. Señor Alvarado Hernández, Miguel, por favor, acérquese al podio.
All right, so Mr. Alvarado Hernandez is charged with driving without a license. What does this lead to that charge?
Señor Alvarado, usted lo acusan por manejar sin licencia. ¿Cómo se declara el cargo?
Culpable.
Guilty.
And that fine amount is that $760?
Yes.
So the fine is $160. Is he able to pay that within 2 weeks, or does he need longer?
La multa son 760. Lo puede pagar hoy, necesita más tardar 2 semanas o necesita más de 2 semanas para pagarlo.
Lo puedo pagar hoy mismo.
I can pay it today.
Ms. Green, are you guys going to be available for payments today?
No, he's gonna either have to wait till we're done with court completely, or he can come back tomorrow.
Ok, las señoritas van a estar muy ocupadas hoy con la corte. Tiene 2 opciones. Puede esperar hasta el final de la corte cuando ellas terminen con todo el mundo para que pague, o puede venir mañana, a partir de mañana, a pagarlo. ¿Qué quiere hacer?
Sería regresar mañana,
Ok, then I'll come back tomorrow.
porque
Okay,
ahorita tengo que esperar harto tiempo.
Tiene que esperar a que se acabe todo, a que llamen a toda la gente que esté en la sala. No sé cuánto tiempo se va a durar. Y después ellas pueden hacer los pagos. Ahorita todas están ocupadas con atendiendo a la gente para que salgan del tribunal.
Ahorita nada más me dan un recibo para poder pagar mañana.
So you're gonna give me something that I can bring so I can pay, come back and pay tomorrow?
yes, I'm gonna have him sign the agreement and his plea form, and then he'll be able to come back tomorrow and make the payment.
Ok, puede firmar 2 documentos. Uno que es cómo se declara y el otro que usted se compromete a venir a pagar mañana o a más tardar en 2 semanas. Ok,
Ok.
ok. Fírmelo ahí con el papel que ella le está dando, creo que se lo está mostrando.
Ok. ¿Me puedo retirar?
Can I go now?
Yes, once he finishes his paperwork, he's free to go.
Una vez que termine con todo el documento que le mandaron a firmar, se puede retirar.
Just sign. Mhm,
Firma.
not there.
Firme, sí, tiene que firmar los 2 documentos, por favor.
Mr. Martinez Valteria. Sign your address. Ms. Otter, can you have him put his mailing address, phone number, and email address?
Ok, por favor escriba su dirección completa donde recibió el correo y su número de teléfono.
Ok.
We have a move to the side, so there you go.
Póngase al lado para que podamos llamar a la otra persona. I think the next one is on page 13, Mr. Mary Rose.
Yes.
All right, page 13, and this is.
Martínez Valtierra. I think it's the first one on the top of the page.
So, Mr. Martinez, you were charged with driving without a valid license. What is your plea to that charge?
Señor Martínez Valtierra, a usted lo acusan por manejar sin licencia. ¿Cómo se declara el cargo?
Culpable.
Guilty.
And that fine is $760. Is he able to pay that within 2 weeks, or does he need longer?
Esa multa es de 760. ¿Necesita más de 2 semanas para pagarlo o lo puede pagar en 2 semanas?
No, mañana lo pago.
Tomorrow, I can pay tomorrow.
Okay. So if he can just execute the plea documents, and for that, he'll be free to go.
Ok, puede firmar los documentos que le van a mostrar allí, el documento de cómo se declara, el documento de que se compromete a pagar a más tardar en dos semanas. Después que firme eso, se puede retirar.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have, okay, Ms. Otter, page 14.
Melchor. I know. Melchor García Dulce, page 14.
Yes.
García Dulce Lucero, por favor, acérquese al podio.
All right. Mrs. Melchor Garcia, you were charged with disorderly conduct. What is your plea to that charge?
Señorita Melchor García, usted la acusan por alterar el orden público. ¿Cómo se declara ese cargo?
No culpable.
Not guilty.
Okay. And can we get her email address from her?
¿Nos puede dar su correo electrónico?
Claro que sí, es, they write it in here.
She could put it on the bottom of her plea sheet.
Okay.
Ok, escríbalo ahí al pie de la página donde se declara, cómo se declara, ok.
Ok, aquí está ya.
Let her know we're going to give her
Okay.
a court date via email, and we'll just look for her on that court date.
Ok, le van a mandar la nueva fecha para que se presente y se lo van a mandar por correo electrónico, ok.
Está muy bien, muchas gracias.
Thank you very much. That's good.
All right. Who we got next, Miss?
That's all? All right, thank you, have a nice day.
You too.
Hasta luego.
Next on the docket is Fernanda Sorosa,
Fernando Sosa, wait a minute. I
page
don't know what page.
17.
Okay, 16. Okay, I got it. Page 17. Okay. Okay, señorita Fernanda Sorrosa, por favor, acérquese al podio.
Okay, Miss Rosa, you were charged with driving without a valid license in proper turn. What is your plea to the charges?
Señorita Sorrosa, la acusan por manejar sin licencia y por girar de manera indebida. ¿Cómo se declaran los dos cargos?
Culpable.
Guilty.
And what is the total fine on those charges?
$895.
$895, you said?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. And so, Miss Sorosa, the total fine is $895. Are you able to pay that within 2 weeks, or do you need longer?
Señorita Sorrosa, la multa total de los dos cargos es 895. ¿Usted lo puede pagar a más tardar en 2 semanas o necesita más de 2 semanas para pagarlo?
Pues si pudiera pagarlo hoy, pero dice que están muy ocupados, ¿verdad?
If I could pay today, I would, but you say you're real busy, correct?
Right, she'd have to come back tomorrow to pay it.
Tendría que venir mañana a pagarlo.
¿Puedo venir el lunes?
Can I come back on Monday?
Yeah, she'll have up
fine.
to 2 weeks to come back.
Sí, usted tiene máximo hasta 2 semanas para que lo pague, ¿ok?
Ok, ¿a qué horas más o menos?
What time I can come, more or less, when can I come? What time?
Between 8 and 4.
Entre las 8 y las 4,
Ah, ok,
¿ok?
ok.
All right, so if we-
Entonces, firme. Okay, you want me to tell her to put her email address in there? Okay, ponga su correo electrónico en el documento que le dieron donde se está declarando. Y le van a dar otro documento que usted se compromete a pagar a más tardar en 2 semanas. Asegúrese que lo firme y pone su correo electrónico y después de eso se puede retirar.
Gracias.
Thank you.
you are welcome. Who we got next?
Next, we have Carlos Garcia Villanova.
He's on page 19, Mr. Mayor Rose.
I don't think, you don't need do you need an interpreter? Okay. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Otter, he will need it.
Okay, señor Villanueva, por favor, acérquese al podio.
All right, so Mr. Villanueva was charged with driving without a valid license. What is his plea to that charge?
Señor Villanueva, lo acusan por manejar sin licencia. ¿Cómo se declara ese cargo?
Pues no culpable ni inocente, pero lo que pasa es que yo estaba parqueado en parqueadero de una iglesia. Ahí estaba parqueado el carro y el policía me llegó en la parte trasera del carro.
Well, I'm going to plead not guilty because what happened was I was parked at the church parking lot and the policeman came around the back to my car.
Okay, well, we'll keep his not guilty. He'll have to explain all that to the judge when we have the trial. And so if we can get his email address on the paperwork, we'll email him a new date with a trial date.
Ok, entonces eso te lo tiene que decir usted de nuevo y explicarle todo eso al juez cuando vengamos para una fecha nueva, le mando una fecha nueva para que venga para un juicio. Asegúrese por favor de que coloque su correo electrónico ahí en ese documento de cómo se está declarando para que entonces le manden la fecha nueva por correo electrónico.
Entonces, tendría que volver a regresar en otra fecha.
So then do I have to come back at another time?
Yes, if he's pleading not guilty, he does.
Sí, si se declara no culpable, claro que sí, porque hoy no hay juicios.
Y si, bueno, en caso para darle definitiva que lo que pasa es que no puedo estar perdiendo en el trabajo. Para pagar esta fianza, ¿cuánto me saldría?
So since I cannot be missing work too much, if I were to pay the fine, how much would that fine be?
$760.
$760.
Ok. No voy a pagar.
Okay, I'm gonna pay that.
All right, so he's changing his plea to guilty.
Entonces está cambiando su declaración a culpable.
Sí, ya para terminar el caso.
Yes, so I can finish with this case.
All right, so if he can put his email address on the bottom of that form, and can he pay that within 2 weeks or does he need longer?
Si puede colocar su correo electrónico en ese documento que dice cómo se está declarando, cámbielo a culpable y ponga su correo electrónico. ¿Usted necesita 2 semanas o necesita más de 2 semanas para pagar? ¿A más tardar 2 semanas o más de 2 semanas?
2 semanas.
2 weeks.
Okay, and so after he fills out the document, puts his email address on there, he's free to go.
Una vez que usted llene el documento, ponga su correo electrónico y lo firme, los 2 documentos, el de cómo se declara y que se compromete a pagar a más tardar en 2 semanas, después que haga eso se puede retirar.
Entonces 2 semanas sería, lo tendré que venir a pagar aquí en este mismo lugar.
Do I have to come and pay it in 2 weeks at the same place here?
Yes.
Sí, o sea, no, le van a dar de aquí a 2 semanas, no es que dentro de 2 semanas venir a pagar, tiene que pagar dentro a más tardar en 2 semanas, ¿entendió?
Sí.
Ok.
Gracias.
De nada.
I think that is it. Does anyone else need interpretive services?
¿Hay alguna otra persona que necesite intérprete? Por favor, levante ahora, diga la mano, póngase de pie para saber y ayudarlo de una vez.
No, I think everybody's good. They can-
Okay.
So
Okay.
we're done with that solicitor.
Okay, you bring them up however you want to. It's your show.
Okay. May I be excused, Mr. and Mary Rose and Miss Green?
Absolutely, Miss Lynn, you are very excused.
Thank you very much. I'll see you next Wednesday.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, bye.
Solicitor, I have it looks like an attorney. Did a young lady walk in here say that she went to the wrong courthouse or something? She's outside. And what's your name? Williams? Okay. We have an attorney that we just let in, Miss, I think it says Karen Law. She's representing Mr. Williams.
Yes, can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good afternoon. And I see the solicitor. I'm not going to try to pronounce your name. How are you?
I'm good. Let me see. Is
Page
Jeether?
20.
Is it Jeether? How do you pronounce his first name?
It should be Devin, Devin.
You said Williams?
Yes,
Devin
last
Williams.
name. Mhm.
Okay. Had the wrong Williams. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that you have not received any discovery on this. You want to reset it so you can get discovery?
Yes, I would like to. Has he been arraigned?
Well, we can take his not guilty plea right now. I just wanted to make sure that that's what you wanted to do. So what we'll do is, since you are there present in court, normally we email them the reset dates. If you want to go ahead and file your entry and leave it there with them, they can get discovery out to you. And then if you don't get it before the next court date, then of course we'll continue it for you to still have time to review the discovery. If you want also, I can give you my email address so you can correspond with my office before the next court date in case there's something that you want to speak to me about.
Okay, that would be great. I'm ready when you are.
The email address is LAW at M as in Mary, R as in Romeo, lawgroup.com.
Awesome. Okay, and if you're able to see, there should be an entry there with an email address already provided. Is that sufficient to receive discovery?
It should be. Ms. Green, do you guys have the entry in there? Of course, I'm just working off the calendar, so I don't know.
No, if I've had time to scan it in, but our system's down, so I'll check. Just give me, I got your email address. So I'll make note of that and I'll check once I get back.
Great. Okay,
All right,
that
so
sounds like a plan.
you and your client are free to go.
Thank you so much. Have a great day, you all.
Thank you. All right.
Okay, so
And filled out.
Mr. Johnson did log back in.
All right, just,
Okay.
Tenoris Johnson,
Yeah, this is a gentleman that was not on the calendar, correct?
right?
Did you guys locate his file so I can know what his charges are?
Yes, hold on, he has one. Okay, so he has 2 citations, one for improper right or left turn and driving with suspended tag. We do have his history as well. He's already pled NOLO for a speeding charge and a failure to maintain insurance.
Is the suspended tag the suspendable offense, suspended, canceled, revoked registration?
I'm sorry, Solicitor, I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Oh, what's going on with my voice? Maybe it's my microphone thing. The tag charge, is that the suspended, canceled, or revoked registration charge, or is it just a expired tag?
No, it was the suspended, driving with suspended tag, first offense.
Okay, and you said that he had a NOLO for what charges?
Yes, he had a NOLO for a failure to maintain insurance back in 2019, and then a speeding he used in Henry County in 2021.
Okay, so he still has a NOLO for the tag charge. He cannot use it for the improper turn. Mr. Johnson, are you on there?
Yeah, I'm on here.
Okay, I need you to turn your camera on, sir.
Hold on one second. Hold on.
All right, Mr. Johnson, so you're in your vehicle. Let me ask you a question. Do you have a CDL?
No, I do not have a CDL.
Okay, and the citations you got while you were in your personal vehicle?
Yeah, personal vehicle.
Okay, so Ms. Green, the clerk was letting me know in reference to what your options are. And of course, you heard me speak earlier about the guilty, not guilty, and nolo contendere. The suspended tag charge is a suspendable offense. So if you're found guilty after a trial, or if you plead guilty to that charge, your license will be suspended based on that. You are eligible for a NOLO to avoid a suspension of your license if you so choose to enter a plea today. You don't have to. You can plead not guilty. You can take it to trial. But just to let you know, on the court side of things, if you were found guilty after a trial, or if you pled guilty to that offense, your license would be suspended. It looks like you used a NOLO for a previous moving violation within the last 5 years. So the NOLO would not apply to the improper turn charge. You'd have to do a guilty on that one. But it does apply to the tag.
Question. They said improper left turn, but I was turning right. So I don't know how
Charges
I made an improper left turn.
proper left or right turn.
Okay. And I still don't know how I made an improper right turn if I was turning right.
So that would be for a not guilty, and you'd have to take that to trial and basically make that argument to the judge. We just need to know how you want to proceed today.
I mean, I got the paperwork for the so I can't show the paperwork that I got the registration now.
No, so if you have paperwork saying that your registration, that your tag was intact at the date of the citation, that's different. Are you saying that it wasn't suspended or canceled and you have proof of that?
Nah, because they were saying they didn't have no insurance, and I showed them it had insurance on there. It was just paid late,
You
so
weren't
it was
charged with
showing
not
that.
having insurance. What you were charged with is a suspended, canceled, or revoked tag. Normally,
That's
that
what I'm saying.
if your
And they were
insurance-
saying that if you pay your insurance late or something do like that, they'll put in that they'll put in for your tag to be like suspended.
which is-
So
yep, which is
they
more
said
than
if
likely
I
gonna
bring
be
it
that
in,
ticket. So let me explain to you how this works, Mr. Johnson. If you're saying that your insurance should not have gotten your tag suspended, you need something from the tag office saying that it was either suspended in error or from your insurance company saying that they transmitted that information to the tag office in error. That's the only proof that will qualify for the court to determine that you're not guilty of this offense. If you have a document showing that, and we're not talking about that you paid your insurance or that you had insurance at the time, we're specifically stating one of those two things. Either the tag was suspended in error, which would be from the tag office, or that your insurance transmitted the suspension in error. So we can work with one of those two documents. Do you have one of those?
I mean, I just got the receipt that they told me the brain that's showing that the receipt and the registration, the updated registration.
So that receipt that you have from updating your registration, can you read off to me what you paid for? What was the total that you paid to reinstate the registration?
$107.63.
Okay, and that $107 was broken down into several different charges, correct? You should have two things on there that say insurance. One was for $60 and the other one's for $25. Do you see that?
Nah, I just say the amount 105, and they had a service fee for 263.
On the part where they itemize what you paid for, it does not show different charges that totaled up to that $106 or $107.
Yeah, it's just showing the DMV amount 105, and then the service fee $2.63.
And this is for your tag?
Yeah, to get it reinstated back. Yep.
Okay, so you paid a reinstatement fee is what I'm asking.
Yeah, that's all it was showing, that it need to be reinstated.
All right. So if you have to pay a reinstatement fee, that means that by law, you are reinstating that tag because it was suspended. So your insurance did suspend the tag. What I'm saying to you is you need to provide proof to the court. The reason that that suspension occurred was their error and not your fault. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So do you want me to reset you so you can try to get that stuff?
And guilty what? I'm paying a fine?
Yeah, but remember that this is a suspendable offense. If you plead guilty to it, your license will be suspended. You can plead nolo to save your license. You'd still have a fine, but you would keep your license.
Yeah, I do know low.
All right, so Ms. Green, can you tell me what the total is on both of those citations?
720.
So wait, hold on, man. That wasn't a warning ticket. That was a real ticket for the improper right turn.
That's 135, sir.
So both of the tickets were, yeah, nothing was a warning. You have $720. Was Ms. Green, was that, I mean, Ms. Yates, was that the total or was that just for the tag?
That's the total.
Okay, so $720 for both citations. Are you able to pay that within 2 weeks or do you need longer?
I don't even know. Probably need longer.
All right. And
$700.
Mr. Johnson, did you put your email into the chat? Were you able to put your email into the chat?
I did before it kicked me out.
All right. Well, let me go ahead and get it from you real quick. That way we can send you information on how to make the payments.
We have it, solicitor.
Okay, all right. All right, so Mr. Johnson, you can go ahead and log off. We're going to email you instructions on how to make that payment of $720 over time. Once you get those instructions, just follow them and then everything should be good.
All right.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right. So I guess we're just gonna go down the docket now.
Yep, that'll work.
All right. We called for Wayne Andrews earlier. We have FTA for that individual. We have Sydney Anthony. Sydney Anthony. He's coming.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, Mr. Anthony.
How you doing, sir?
Good. You were charged with letting an unauthorized person drive. What is your plea to that charge, sir?
No.
All right. And is he eligible for a NOLO, Madam Clerk? Was that Miss Payton? Did she say something?
Yeah, she said yes.
Oh, 'cause I recognize the voice. I just didn't hear what she said. Okay. And what is that fine amount?
$300.
$300. All right. So, Mr. Anthony, can you pay that $300 within 2 weeks, or do you need longer?
I can pay within 2 weeks.
Okay. So we'll put you down for 2 weeks. There is a form that your plea sheet that you are providing to Ms. Green. Can you make sure that you put your email address on the bottom of that plea sheet so we can send you instructions on making the payment?
Is that it for him?
That is it.
Okay. Next, we have Renard Battle.
Mr. Battle,
Yes.
you were charged with expired no license plate or decal. What is your plea to that charge?
You said say that one more time?
The charge is expired or no license plate or decal. What is your plea to that charge?
No. But I have my I had got my tag renewed like probably that week.
You're saying after.
Right.
Okay. So you also have a charge of following too close. What is your plea to that charge?
Same thing.
All right. Is he eligible for the NOLO on these two charges?
He is.
All right. And what is the fine amount total?
Total amount is $685.
Mr. Battle, you ever pay that $685 within 2 weeks, or do you need longer?
I can pay it in 2 weeks.
Okay. Mr. Battle, can you make sure that you put your email address on the bottom of that plea form before you turn it in? That way we can send you instructions on how to make the payment in 2 weeks.
For the tag, can I really just do not guilty with that.
Okay, so you don't split them up. Yeah, so we don't split them up. If you're gonna do not guilty on the tag, then we will hold your plea on the other charge until you come for your trial on the tag. And then you can plead to it when you come back. It doesn't change the fine. It doesn't stop your ability to plead NOLO on that one. It's just because you got
All right, let me do that then.
All right, so we're gonna do not guilty on both of them. And we're gonna reset you for a trial. And then when you come back for the trial, if you still plan on pleading guilty to the following too close, you can do that at that point, okay?
All right.
Put your email address on the bottom of that form. Sir, you can step over. Next, we have Kimberly Bell.
So is Eric Bell a FTA?
I'm sorry, Eric Bell. Yes, when we called earlier, there was no one here. Miss Bell.
Hi, Ms. Bell, you are charged with the offense of loitering. What is your plea to that charge?
No.
NOLO?
Yes.
All right, what is the fine amount on that, Ms. Payton?
For the loitering and prowling, it is $430.
All right, so Ms. Bell, that $400 fine, are you able to pay that within 2 weeks, or do you need longer?
I need more time.
Can you make sure that you place your email address on the plea form so that we can send you instructions on how to pay it over time?
Okay.
And then once you do that, then you are free to go.
Thank you. On page 3, we had, I'm gonna call them again just in case we miss somebody. Warren Bonner, Marco Bosley, Juanita Brown, Jasmine Brown. Jasmine Brown. She's, Miss Brown, Jasmine is here.
Okay. Ms. Brown?
I don't.
Good. Ms. Brown, you were charged with expired or no license plate or decal. What is your plea to that charge?
I pleaded guilty because I can't do no.
Is she not eligible for a NOLO?
For a moving violation, no, but for a tag charge or a document charge, yes.
Okay, can I do no then?
Well, but is this is not the the suspendable offense, correct?
No, because it's expired or no license plate.
Okay, so that's just a moving violation one, so she's not eligible for the NOLO on that. So Ms. Brown, it has to either be guilty or not guilty.
Guilty.
Okay, and what is the total fine on that?
135.
135. Are you able to pay that within 2 weeks or do you need longer?
I could pay in 2 weeks.
All right. Ms. Brown, can you make sure that your email address is at the bottom of that plea sheet so that we can send you instructions on how to make that payment?
Yes, I already put it down there.
Thank you so much. Well, once you turn that in, then you are free to go.
Yeah.
I didn't hear you.
I said, thank you so much. Once you turn that form in, then you're free to go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Renika Bird.
Ms. Bird?
Hi.
Hi, Ms. Bird. You were charged with disorderly conduct and this is a city offense, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. What is your plea to that charge?
No law.
All right. And what is the fine amount for that?
$430.
That fine is $430. Are you able to pay that within 2 weeks or do you need longer, Ms. Bird?
2 weeks is fine.
2 weeks, okay. And did you put your email at the bottom of that form? The plea sheet?
I didn't hear you.
So were you able to put your email address at the bottom of the plea sheet, the form you're about to turn in?
I will.
And fill this part out for me, please. You can step over and fill the paper out. Solicitor Miss Cheeks, Janice Cheeks paid.
Okay,
Daniel Clark was an FTA.
okay.
Frank Clemens, Mr. Clemens, he's here.
All right. Mr. Clemens, good afternoon. You were charged with the offense of following too close. Was this an accident?
Yes,
Okay, and what is your plea to that charge?
no.
All right, is Mr. Clemens eligible for a NOLO?
Yes, he is.
And the fine amount is,
$550.
Mr. Clemens, that fine is $550. Are you able to pay that within 2 weeks or do you need longer?
2 weeks.
Okay.
Can I pay now?
Sir?
Can I pay on and out, a little bit on and out?
Well, so they're not able to take any of the payments because all of the clerks are in court. You'd have to come back tomorrow.
But we don't take partial payment. You have to pay.
Oh, he said partial. Okay,
Yeah,
okay. But Mr. Clemens, were you able to put your email address on the bottom of the plea form? If you could do that for us, once you get that done and turned in, then you'll be free to go.
okay.
Next we have Jasmine Comer. Sorry. I'm just gonna put that aside, please.
Comer,
Yes, sir.
you were charged with driving without a valid license. Do you have a valid license, Ms. Comer?
No, sir. Honest.
Okay, so this is a suspendable offense. I don't know what your plea to the charge is going to be, but if you want to have the ability to get a license, a NOLO will stop a further suspension of your license. It's up to you as to how you want to plead. What's your plea to the offense?
No.
All right, is Ms. Comer eligible for a NOLO on a license charge?
One moment.
Okay,
It doesn't look like she's used one, so.
all right, so we're gonna put her down for a NOLO, and that fine is that's not $760, is it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah, $760. Can you pay that within 2 weeks or do you need longer?
I might can pay it in 2 weeks.
Okay, do you want me to put you down for more than 2 weeks just in case? You can always take care of it. Okay. All right, so we're gonna put you down for more than 2 weeks. And did you put your email at the bottom of that form, the plea sheet? Okay, so once you do that, we're gonna email you with instructions on how to make the payment over time. Once you
Okay.
turn that form in, then you're free to go.
All righty, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. David Crutcher.
How you doing?
Good, Mr. Crutcher, you were charged with traffic control device violation. What is your plea to that charge?
NOLO.
All right, is Mr. Crutcher eligible for a NOLO?
He is.
And what is that fine amount?
That fine amount for, is 165.
Mr. Crutcher, that's 165. Are you able to pay that within 2 weeks or do you need longer?
2 weeks, okay.
Okay. And Mr. Crutcher, can you make sure that your email address is at the bottom of that plea form so that we can email you instructions on how to make the payment?
Yes, sir.
All right, once you've done that, you'll be free to go.
Okay. Next, we have Dwight Darling. He's coming.
Mr. Darling?
How are you doing?
Good, Mr. Darling. You have two charges, a stop sign violation and obscured license plate violation. What is your plea to those charges?
Well, I'd gotten this, that somebody had given me the wrong. I'm not sure. They gave me that for the stop sign. And NOLO for the plates. Plates, I had two cars and I just made a mistake and switched my plates on the other one. I just made a mistake. I with the same cars. So I made a mistake with it.
So you're pleading what to the stop sign violation?
I'm not pleading. guilty to
Okay,
it.
do you have your other ticket? Let me see the actual tickets we have. Because he presented us with a ticket in a different name. Hold on 1 second.
Okay. Is the
They
ticket?
gave you the wrong ticket, sir. I'm not sure who this Monique Polite is, but you have a ticket, 501 and 499. Okay, solicitor, he has a ticket for tags, alteration, and proper plates. And
Correct.
the other one is a failure to yield at a stop sign.
Yes, so I have a stop sign violation. The ticket numbers are 501 and 499.
That's correct. He just handed me something from a Monique Polite.
She is on our docket.
Okay, did she leave that or?
Know her?
No, I don't know her. The police officer gave me that.
Wow. Okay, we'll take care of that. But for his, yes, the ones that are on the docket are correct.
Okay, so I just need to know what your plea is to the two charges.
NOLO.
Okay, is he eligible for a NOLO on those charges?
Is he eligible for NOLO?
Yes, sir.
And what is the total fine for that?
270 for both.
270?
Yep, because each of them is 135.
Okay. And Mr. Darling, are you able to pay that within 2 weeks or do you need longer?
2 weeks is good.
All right. And can you make sure that you put your email on the bottom of that plea form? That way we can email you with instructions on how to make the payment, sir?
Right. Yes, sure.
All right. Once you've done that, then you'll be free to go, sir.
Well, if you can just sign them, do this right quick, then if you can do that, then you'll be out of it.
Next we have Emmanuel Evans.
Okay, so after Mr. Darling, Justin Dickens is FTA.
I'm sorry, I'll go back. I'm sorry. Justin Dickens was FTA.
Okay.
Shakita Dingle, FTA.
Okay.
Jaquavius Dixon is FTA.
Okay.
Lalisha Driver, FTA.
Okay.
Virginia Earls, FTA.
Okay.
And now we have Mr. Evans.
All right, Mr. Evans, you have 2 charges, suspended or revoked license and a stop sign violation. What is your plea to the charges?
Yes.
Okay. Is Mr. Evans eligible for a NOLO on the suspended license charge?
I don't believe he has a license. It says no driver found when we ran it.
Okay. Mr. Evans, have you ever had a Georgia license?
No.
Are you planning on obtaining a Georgia license?
Yeah, I'm gonna get them switched over.
So if you plead NOLO right now, because what happens is if you plead guilty to driving on a suspended license, if you try to go and get a Georgia license, you're going to be suspended for an additional 6 months. So they're going to prevent you from getting one for the additional 6-month time frame. If you do a NOLO, that will allow you to, once you're able to go straight in and get your Georgia license.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay. So we're going to give him a NOLO on that. And what is the total of the fines?
$8.95.
Mr. Evans, are you able to pay that $8.95 in 2 weeks, or do you need longer?
No longer.
So we're going to put you down for more than 2 weeks to pay over time. Mr. Evans, did you put your email at the bottom of that plea form?
Yeah.
Okay. So once you turn that plea form in indicating that you were pleading NOLO to that charge, we're going to email you with instructions on how to make that payment over time. Okay.
Okay, appreciate it.
You're free to go, sir.
And do you have your plea sheet still? Next we have Cynthia Bai.
Ms. Phi?
Sir,
Hey, you were charged with the improper turn. Was this an accident? You weren't involved in an accident? Were you involved in an accident?
No, sir.
Okay. And what is your plea to the charge?
No.
Is she eligible for that NOLO, Ms. Payton?
Yes, she is.
What is that fine amount?
135.
Ms. Phi, that fine amount is $135. Are you able to pay that within 2 weeks, or do you need longer?
Within 2 weeks, sir.
Ms. Phi, can you put your email address at the bottom of that plea form and you can turn that in? Once you've done that, you're free to go. We'll email you instructions on how to make the payment over time.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So we're moving to Michael Francois has paid.
Okay.
Katina Galbraith was FTA.
All right.
And we have Lavasia Gamble. She's here.
Okay.
Is it Lavasia? Lavash.
Hey, Ms. Gamble, you have one charge of failure to signal, lane change, or turn. What is your plea to that charge?
I think it's improper lane change.
Yeah, so the way that the code, when the officers write them down there on the citations, they use plain language. The code section has more specific language.
Okay.
So it's the same thing. It's just the, I guess, the harder version of it. But what is your plea to the charge?
I kind of want to withhold my plea if I can, until I can see, so I can get a continuance and I can get a legal counsel, because I was dealing with a little bit of injury from the accident and I really wasn't able to.
Well, so Yes, so we don't continue matters for you to get counseled. You can plead not guilty and get a reset date and then obtain an attorney
Can I
between.
do that? Can I do that? I also,
Yeah.
have a CDL, so this happened in my, personal car.
Okay, so we'll put you down for a not guilty. We're gonna reset you for a trial. You can contact an attorney and hire a person before that court date. That
Okay.
person can advise you as to what you should or should not do or represent you before the court.
Okay.
Were you able to put your email into the chat? I'm sorry, into the chat, on the plea form that you were turning in?
Come again?
Did you put your email address on the plea form that you were turning in?
No, I didn't.
Okay, if you can go ahead and do that, and then once you give that to the clerk, you'll be free to go. We're gonna email you with your new court date, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We have, German D. Gaston was FTA.
Okay.
Raymond Gates, they came in, Raymond Gates. I need you to come to the front, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's,
All right. Mr. Gates, wait, are we on Mr. Gates?
yes, Raymond Gates.
Just a second. Okay. Mr. Gates, you have a stop sign violation charge. What is your plea to that charge?
No law.
All right, is he eligible for a NOLO on that?
He is
And what is that fine?
135.
Mr. Gates, are you able to pay that fine within 2 weeks or do you need longer?
I can pay it today.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you,
Pay it
sir.
today.
Today?
Yes,
Well, they can't take the payment today because they're in court. You are able to pay it within 2 weeks. If you want to come
Yes.
by tomorrow, you can pay it. That'll be
Yes.
fine.
yes, not a problem.
Okay, so we'll put you down for 2 weeks, but you can come and pay it anytime within that 2-week time frame. Did you put your email on your plea sheet, sir?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Well, once you turn that plea sheet in, you will be free to go, sir. Just look out for that email giving you instructions on how to make the payment.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Courtney Gooden, he's here.
All right, Mr. Gooden, you were charged with a stop sign violation. What is your plea to that charge, sir?
Solo.
All right, is he eligible for the NOLO on that?
He is
That fine amount is
135.
135. Mr. Gooden, are you able to pay that within 2 weeks or do you need longer?
No, yes, sir. I'll be able to do that.
2 weeks?
Mhm.
All right, and can you just verify that you put your email address on that plea sheet that you turned in? Once you do that and turn that in, you're free to go.
All right, we'll do.
Okay. We're on page 10 now. Trinity Graham was FTA. Bradley Grant, FTA. Jamie Guy is here. Jamie Guy was, okay. She's coming.
No. If you'll sign the, I put your address in.
Okay, we have Jamie Guy.
Just make a picture.
This guy?
Hi.
Hi, you were charged with following too close. Were you involved in an accident?
Yes.
Okay. What is your plea to that charge?
Nolo.
All right. Is Ms. Guy eligible for the NOLO?
She is
And what is that fine amount?
550.
Ms. Guy, that fine is $550. Are you able to pay that within 2 weeks or do you need longer?
I may need longer. How much longer can I have? Or how
Well, you can have up to 6 months, but remember that the longer that you stay, so every 30 days, they charge you a supervision fee that's charged by probation. So if you can pay within the first 29 days, then you won't get any additional fees.
I could do that.
All right. And Ms. Guy, were you able to put your email in the chat? I'm sorry, on the plea form?
Yes.
All right, so once you turn that plea form in with your email address, then you can go ahead and leave. We're gonna email you with instructions on how to make that payment, okay?
All right.
Thank you.
Miss Maria Hernandez. Did she say she-
Ms. Hernandez?
Yes,
All right, you have 3 charges. What is your?
I
let's
only
start
have
with
two
the first.
tickets, sir.
What's that?
I only have two.
Okay, but you have 3 charges according to my calendar. You got the DUI, you got a driving without a valid license, and a failure to yield a right of way. Did you have an accident?
The other one, what?
Were you involved in an accident?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so that's gonna be the failure to yield the right of way. Then you have the license charge that you didn't have a valid license and a DUI charge. What's your plea to the charges?
I don't know how to play because I was not by myself. And by the time the police arrived, she was gone. And to me, to my knowledge, she was the one driving, but I don't know what happened.
Well, it sounds like you want to plead not guilty so that you can get in front of the judge and explain that situation. You want me to put you down for a not guilty plea?
Can I do NOLO?
Well, so they don't accept NOLOs on the DUI charges. So it would have to either be guilty or not guilty. Here's what I would suggest though, because that DUI charge is very serious. The driving on both of these are suspendable offenses. Do you want to consider, or you want us to see if you can qualify for a court-appointed attorney who may be able to help you?
So if I plead guilty, what? I'm sorry.
If you plead guilty today, then you're going to get sentenced today. But both the DUI and the driving on a suspended license are suspendable offenses. So you may want to consult with an attorney before you enter any plea. Do you understand? Would you like us to see if you qualify for a court-appointed attorney so that you can at least speak to somebody about it?
Yes, please.
All right. So if you can put your email address on that plea form, we're going to put you down for a not guilty for right now. We're going to get you a court-appointed attorney application to fill out so the judge can qualify you for a court-appointed attorney. Once you have been qualified, you're going to get contacted by a court-appointed attorney. It's probably going to be Jason Kessler, and he's going to be able to advise you as to that charge.
Okay.
All right.
What will happen today?
The only thing you're going to do today is plead not guilty. You're going to get the form to fill out. You have to turn the form back in. We will evaluate the form to see if you qualify. Then we will be in contact with you.
Okay.
We made a copy.
Okay.
Okay, next we have, make sure I'm not missing anybody. Humphrey, Jemiah Humphrey.
Ms. Humphrey?
Yes.
Ms. Humphrey, the gentleman that's standing right next to you is related to you?
My granddaughter, your own.
And this is the charge that you received earlier for letting some unlicensed person drive?
Yes, sir. That's me.
Okay. All right. All right, Ms. Humphrey, what's going on with your license?
I just got it before I came.
Okay. Is that a regular class C or is that a restricted license?
Yes, sir. It's a regular class C, sir.
Okay. So let's do this because that charge, this driving without a license, will suspend the current license that you have. I'm going to amend that to a basic rules violation, so it's non-reportable. That way your license will not be impacted. I will change that fine to $150. What is the fine on the traffic control device?
165.
165. And I'm telling you all this before you've told me what you're going to do as far as the plea is concerned. You still have the option of not guilty. Ms. Humphrey, are you under 21?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't have the luxury of being able to plead NOLO because of your age. And so that's a consideration of amending the charge to a non-reportable offense so that you don't get points and your license does not get suspended. So what do you want to do in reference to the charges? Do you want to enter a plea? Your options are not guilty or guilty. NOLO is not an option because of your age.
So if she pleaded guilty to this, will this be an infraction on her license?
Well, if she enters a plea of guilty, I'm going to amend the charges to non-reportable offenses, so it will not affect her license.
All right. We got to-
Okay, just make sure that you indicate that on the form that you have. Ms. Green, I'm going to amend both charges to basic rules violations, so they're not reportable.
Okay.
We're going to stick with 165 on the first basic rules, which was amended from traffic control device. And then 150 on the driving without a license, which was amended to basic rules violation.
And then you kind of missed the guilty, so you'll circle that. Yeah, put the initial bracket, no low, so that they know that you're the one that marked it out, not me.
And by my math, that is a total of $315. Is that right, Ms. Payton? And you're
Yes,
better at math than I am.
Can we suspend the fine, Your Honor? This is our first time. This is
Yeah.
our very first time.
So I'm not the judge, for one, I'm the prosecutor. And secondly, I amended the charges so that she can keep driving, because I know that if she ain't got her license, that means you don't have to drive her around.
No, she got.
Yeah.
And
that's
that
as
what she
much
was
as I
doing, driving me around.
Yeah, that's as much as I could do to help her out there. The fine really is something she's gonna be stuck with.
All right, keep going with that.
All right. So
300, right.
315.
315, is she able to pay that within 2 weeks, or do you need longer?
Yeah, I'll take care of it.
Okay. So we're gonna put it down for 2 weeks, and well, that's all we need. We just need her plea sheet, and that'll be it.
Fill that out. for
There you
me.
go.
Thank you.
You want.
Can y'all flip over that way for me? Thank you.
And Granddad, we appreciate you coming to keep her straight.
Look, I try to keep them straight, Your Honor. I mean, little,
Yeah,
it's
it's
my little baby there.
good you got somebody looking out for you, young lady. All right, so I don't know how to even pronounce the next one that I have on the calendar.
I'm sorry. Yalisha Rivera. Yes. Please say your name for us. Yalisha.
It was okay, so it's just like it looks. I thought maybe
Yeah.
Irizarry Rivera. All right, Miss Irizarry Rivera, what is your plea to the failure to yield the right of way?
No.
All right. And is she eligible for that NOLO, Miss Payton?
She is
Nothing right there.
That fine amount is
135.
135. Thank you very much. Miss Irizarry Rivera, are you able to pay that 135 within 2 weeks, or do you need longer?
2 weeks is fine.
Okay. And did you put your email into the bottom of the form there, the plea sheet?
Yes.
Okay, so once you turn that document in, then you'll be free to go. Just look out for the email giving you instructions on how to pay within 2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay. Next, we had Tavares Kukendall was FTA.
Okay.
Eric Lopez is FTA.
Okay.
Maria Lorenzo is here.
All right.
So the person driving was me, but they put the citation under my,
Mention that to him.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so Miss Lorenzo, you were charged with improper passing emergency vehicle. What is your plea to that charge?
My name is Tanya. I was the one driving the vehicle. But they had put my auntie's name on here because it was her car.
Oh, okay, so when they ran the tag, it came back as your aunt's vehicle and it just populated, okay.
Yes.
So give me your full name.
Tanya Garcia.
Tanya Garcia. And are you at the same address as your aunt?
Yes.
So Ms. Green, what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to get the officer to rewrite the citation under Ms. Garcia's name, because we cannot finish with this under Ms. Lorenzo's name. So Ms. Garcia, what we'll have to do is reset you. We have to reissue the citation properly. And then once we do that, we'll put you back on the calendar to come back. You can handle it that way. Okay?
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, next we have, is Marvin Lowe here? Marvin Lowe? That's FTA. Kevin? Is it Matthew? Matthew.
Mr. Matthew? Hey, Mr. Matthew, you have two charges, a suspended license charge and a failure to yield a right of way. What is your plea to those charges?
Not guilty.
You said not guilty?
Yes, sir.
All right, and were you able to put your email address at the bottom of the plea form, sir?
Okay.
All right, that way we can email you your new court date. That will be your trial date. You just come back, the judge will be present for you to make your
Okay.
argument.
The officer took my license, my hard copy, my Georgia license.
Okay,
Since then, everything's clear. And can I get it back?
all right, so if the officer took the license, he turned it into the Department of Driver Services, you're gonna have to go back there and get it, and it depends on them whether it's released or not. Because
Okay, cause I got a paper from them, for my license now. Cause I had to change the address on my license because all my mail is going to another address.
all right, so if you go online, there's gonna be a particular, and I don't know exactly where you live, but there's gonna be a particular department that you have to, Driver Services office that you have to go to collect your license.
No, I have it now. I have the paper. They're gonna mail me another one. But I
Oh,
want-
okay.
I
well,
just wanted my other one back. You know,
So yeah, once they collect your license, they don't keep those. They send them in the Department of Driver
send
Services.
them over. Okay,
We see.
okay.
All right, so we got you down for not guilty. Do we have his email address?
Yeah, I'm putting it on.
And your correct contact information, phone number, mailing address, is it correct on your ticket?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Let's see, Mr. Donis McCoy,
So McCantis was a FTA, correct?
McCann is paid.
Oh, paid.
Donis McCoy, okay, she's.
Ms. McCoy?
Hello.
Hi, Ms. McCoy, you indicated, well, actually, you were charged with improper turn. What is your plea to that charge?
I'll do, no. I did turn correctly though.
All right, so Ms. McCoy, in reference to that plea, you want to stick with the NOLO or you want to do a not guilty?
I don't know, I turned to the right and I turned to the right and then got into my left lane. Is that improper?
Well, that would be for the judge to decide. That's why we have trial. So if you want to explain the situation to the judge, the officer who issued the citation will be present at a trial. That way you get a chance to ask that person questions as to why they gave you the citation. That's completely up to you.
Okay, we'll just get it over with today.
All right. Is McCoy eligible for a NOLO?
She is
And what is that fine amount?
135.
Ms. McCoy, are you able to pay that 135 within 2 weeks or do you need longer?
Within 2 weeks, I can.
Okay. And can you just verify that you put your email address at the bottom of that plea form before you turn it in? Once you do that, then you're free to go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fill that top right out for me, thank you. Okay, let's see. So Justice Mendoza was FTA.
Okay.
Keisha Miller, FTA. Carlos Mirando, FTA. Eldington Murphy, FTA. German Hernandez Pedraza, FTA. Monique Polite. That's a little ticket.
That's who that person's.
Yes, FTA. Whitney Rivera, FTA. Michael Robinson, FTA. Armando Romero, FTA. Edwin Sanchez, FTA. Caitlin Rochelle, FTA. William Shumpert, FTA. Diamond Smith is here. Diamond Smith? Okay, she's coming.
Ms. Smith?
Hey.
Hi, Ms. Smith. So I have you with 2 counts of mistreatment of animals. Is your plea to the charge?
No.
Okay, and Ms. Payton, what is the total for those charges?
It's 500 for each one, so $1,000.
Okay, has she ever been charged with this previously?
No, it does not look like it. There's no criminal history at all.
All right. So Ms. Smith, I'm gonna reduce the fine to $250 each, which would be a total of $500. Are you able to take care of that within 2 weeks, or do you need longer?
No, I can take care of it in 2 weeks.
All right, and did you straighten out the situation with the animals? The dogs, what kind of animals were they?
Say that one more time.
So what type of animals were they?
Oh, they 2 pets.
Pit bulls? All right,
Yes.
okay. So if you can just make sure that your email is at the bottom of the plea form, turn that document in. Once you do that, you're free to go. We're gonna email you with instructions on how to make the payment, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Is that 35? All right.
Next, we have Benita Stokes. Did I pronounce your name right? Okay. If you're not good.
Hello.
Hey, Ms. Stokes, you have 1 charge of unlawful use of wireless device. Do you have a hands-free device in your vehicle?
I was actually putting it into the device when he seen me. I was at a red light and I was putting my phone into the hands-free device and he seen me with the phone actually in my hand.
Did you bring the device to court with you?
It's actually in my car outside. I can get it.
You have a picture of it?
I don't.
Can you run out there and take a picture of it real quick and then just bring it back to us?
I sure will.
Next, we have Kristen Stroud.
Ms. Stroud?
Hi.
Hi, Ms. Stroud, you were charged with disorderly conduct. This is a city offense, is that correct?
Yes, correct.
And what is your plea to that charge?
Guilty. Right.
So the fine is how much on that, Ms. Payton?
$430.
$430. And Ms. Stroud, let me just let you know that the reason why I asked whether they're city charges or not is because city offenses do not go on your criminal history, so it's not going to be reported on your record. The only people that see it are folks within the city and the city police department. But if they ran a background check on you, if they ran a criminal history on you statewide, this would not show up, okay?
Okay.
Now that fine is $430. Are you able to pay that within 2 weeks or do you need longer?
Longer.
So we're going to place you on pay only probation to give you time to pay. You can pay it off as soon as you can. Probation will terminate, all right?
Okay.
Weeks. And did you put your email on the plea form?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so once you turn that in, you're free to go. Just look out for an email giving you instructions on how to make the payment over time.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
We have Ms. Stokes back with her picture.
Okay.
Yes, sir, she does.
All right. So Ms. Stokes, we're going to dismiss this charge against you. You're free to go.
Thank you so much.
And listen now. So here's the thing about that hands-free device. Georgia law is that you cannot touch your phone with any part of your body.
He explained it to me. Yeah.
Most people don't understand that. They're thinking if it's in the device, they can still, manipulate it. You can't touch it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're good to go.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.
Next, we have Francis Taylor.
All right.
And GM Turner is up next.
We doing Francis Taylor or are we doing G Turner?
Yes, sir.
We're doing Taylor first.
Okay. Mr. Taylor.
Yes, sir.
Taylor, you have 3 charges. One of them includes a suspendable offense. What is your plea to the charges?
Oh, I plead guilty, sir, for what he tickets he gave me. I just have one question to ask. First of all, I
What
want
is
to
your question, sir? What's your question?
I was saying that I was sitting here and I heard a lot of a lot of high prices on tickets, and I'm a disabled veteran. I'm on a fixed income, so I was asking the court to plead that they would just give me a lighter or fine if possible.
Well, so normally the court has one option in an effort to cut down the fines, they increase the community service. So you can convert your fines into community service if there's too much fine for you to pay. Also, the fines are spread out over a 6-month period. So they give you time to pay it if you need to do that.
Okay, yeah. I'll have time, in that period of time, yes, I will.
Okay, all right, so Miss Peyton, can you tell me what the total fines are on that?
The whole fine is $1,060.
Whoa.
$1,050. And is he eligible for a NOLO on the license charge?
Yes, he is.
So, Mr. Taylor, in reference to that driving without a valid license charge, if you were to plead guilty on that charge, it will suspend your license for an additional 6 months. You can do a NOLO, which will stop your license from going into suspension. So whenever you decide you want to go and renew your license, you can do it without having any problem. You understand what I just said?
Yes, sir. That sounds good.
Okay, so you want to do the NOLO on the driving without a valid license. We're going to do a NOLO on the rest of the charges, correct?
Yes, sir. That's okay with me.
All right, and so you need more than 2 weeks, so we're going to put you on 6 months to give you time to pay that.
I appreciate that.
Solicitor.
Yes. I'm sorry, was
He
that?
is not licensed.
I know,
Okay.
but if he was to go and try to obtain a Georgia license after this plea, if he did not do a NOLO, he would not be able to get one for an additional 6 months.
Okay, that's no problem. Got you.
So we're going to give you 6 months to pay the fine. Amount is to be spread out over the 6-month period. Do we have your email address?
It's on my citation, I believe it is.
We'll get it from you.
Okay, they'll get it. I wasn't sure.
All right, so once we get your email address, we're going to email you with the instructions on how to make the payment over time. Putting a NOLO in for the suspendable offense. That way your license, you will be eligible to get your license back sooner.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, sir.
All right, no worries. Have a good day, sir.
You have a blessed day.
Yeah, he's gonna have to. GM Turner.
Do I keep this or?
First of all, you end up paying, scratch that out, put your initials on it. And was you gonna sit down?
Mr. Turner?
Ms. Yates has an announcement on Mr. Turner.
Okay, Ms. Yates.
He also has an FCA from an animal charge from back in November. He did not come to court.
Did we charge the FTA fee to get him back on the calendar?
This is a whole nother case.
Yeah. We charged it. It hasn't been paid. We sent a letter, but nothing had been done with that.
So the FTA was from what date?
I can't recall the exact date, but it was in November.
And we can't look it up right now, unfortunately.
November of 2022. All right, so Mr. Turner, do you recall having missed a court date back in November of last year?
Sir, when I received that leash ticket, the very next day I got rid of that dog. And it slipped my mind. I never received the paperwork through the mail. I mean, I'm not saying it didn't come. I was in the process of having to move out of my house. I've lost my house. I'm now homeless. And I got rid of the dog the next day after I got the ticket. I forgot I had to come to court on it, sir. I'm sorry.
All right, so that was a leash law violation. Let me ask you about the current charges that you have, which are loitering and obstructing an officer. What is your plea to those charges?
Sir, my life has been in rambles for the last few years now. I was the iron worker out of local 387. and I was injured on the job. And since then, I haven't been able to work or get my life back together. I was in them dumpsters trying to take care of myself so I wouldn't have to ask nobody for help. That's the reason I was in the dumpsters. Now, I have since then, I won't go back to them dumpsters again. I can assure you that. I am guilty of being there. But I was there because I had to be. I didn't have no way to feed myself. And that's what I was trying to do. I am now homeless.
All right, let me ask Ms. Payton.
Yes, sir.
Are these city offenses or are these state?
City.
So I'm in the process right now of trying to get out of Forest Park completely. Right now, I'm standing behind a church beside the house I used to live in.
All right, so Mr. Turner, here's what we're gonna do. I can't really address the previous FTA until it's placed back on the calendar. So more than likely, you're gonna have to return with a new.
Did I just go ahead and pay the charge now, sir?
No, you can't do that because it has to be before the court in order for that to be adjudicated. And since it has not been added to this calendar,
Yes, sir.
but we can address the loitering and obstruction charges. Now, both of these charges are city offenses, so they're not gonna go on your record.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
There are fines that are associated with it, and I know that you said that you're homeless right now. Are you working?
No, sir. I don't even have a way to get to the hospital and take care of the problems that I have of my own right now.
So let's
Or
do
any
this.
kind of insurance or anything.
What is the total fines, Ms. Payton, on Mr. Turner?
$860.
$860. All right, so Mr. Turner, we can convert this into community service. That way you don't have to pay the fine and all you have to do is show up and complete community service.
And how many community service hours would that be?
So the probation department will calculate those hours based on minimum wage, and they'll determine what the total amount is that you'll have to do as community service. But that's the only way to avoid having you to
So
pay.
I believe my mom's gonna loan me the money to go ahead and pay the fine today.
So what we can do is I can put you on 2 weeks to give you time to pay. If you pay within that 2 weeks, then you're good.
Yes, sir. That's what I'll do then.
All right, so we're gonna give you 2 weeks to pay. Do we have information to get in contact with Mr. Turner?
Now, these other charges about this leash law, what do I have to do about this?
That will be placed on another calendar. You'll receive notice to come back.
I don't have an address to receive notice anymore.
Okay, can we
I mean,
send,
I can send it to my mom's address, but I don't have an address anymore.
you leave your mother's address and we'll contact and give notice to her there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I will.
All right, so just go ahead and fill out that plea forms, pleading to the two charges. And make
No
sure,
loan on it, that's right.
yep, and make sure that you leave your mother's address so that we can send the information to her in reference to your new court date for the others. Okay,
Yes, now, yes, sir.
have a good day. Mr.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
You have an email address?
Next person we have is Jay Wagner.
Okay. Your address, your mom's address.
Ms. Wagner, okay, Ms. Wagner, you have one charge of failure to use the right of way. What is your plea to that charge?
I was gonna plead no.
Okay, Ms. Payton, is he eligible, or she eligible for the NOLO?
Yes, she is.
And that fine amount is,
135.
and Ms. Wagner, can you pay that 135 within 2 weeks or do you need longer?
No, I can pay it.
And did you put your email address on the bottom of that plea form?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so we're going to email you with instructions on how to make that payment within the 2 week time frame. Just make sure that you leave that plea form with the clerk. And after you do that, you're free to go.
Thank you so much.
Just fill out the portion and review and sign and date and just give me both that. Miss Erica Wambo, we released her. She came to the courtroom and she stated that she had COVID. So we're gonna reset her. Alicia Watt was FTA. Whitney White, FTA. Levon Whitehead. Mr. Whitehead is here and he's coming forward.
Mr. Whitehead,
How you doing, sir?
Good. You have two charges. One is a bit more serious than the other, the possession of marijuana and the stop sign violation. What is your plea to those charges?
Guilty.
Mr. Whitehead, have you ever been charged with possession previous to this date?
No, sir.
You do know that once you plead guilty to this, is going to be on your record permanently.
Sir.
You realize that if you plead guilty to this possession charge, it's going to be on your record permanently.
Oh, is there a way that I could like,
Well, I'm just letting you know that. Let me check one thing. Madam Clerk, was this a city offense or was this a state violation?
violation?
A city?
Okay. So, Mr. Whitehead, because it's a city offense, it was not going to go on your permanent record. It would just be visible to the law enforcement in the city. So then you don't have to worry about this damaging your ability to get a job or coming up on a background check. You understand?
Okay, yes, sir.
And what is the fine amount for these charges?
For both, it's gonna be $315.
$315 total. Mr. Whitehead, are you able to pay that $315 within 2 weeks, or do you need longer?
There's a way that I can extend the repayment, because I have other tickets I have to pay too.
Yeah, so we can give you up to 6 months to take care of all of it. But remember that every 30 days, they're going to charge you an additional fee, which is roughly about $42.
Okay, is there a way I can make a payment every 2 weeks?
Yeah, you can pay it however you want. I'm just going to tell you that you have up to 6 months to pay it off.
Okay, I heard that.
Quicker that you pay it, as soon as you pay it off, it's over with. If you pay it in 3 months, it's done in 3 months.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to give you up to 6 months to pay it. And did you put your email on the plea sheet, sir?
Yes, sir.
Right. And so once you turn that plea sheet in to the clerk there, then you are free to go. So we're going to contact you with information on how to make the payment.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Fill that top part out for me. And let's see. 19, 20, 21, we have, I guess it was Jether Williams was FTA.
Yeah.
And that is it.
Well, sounds like a plan to me.
That's all she wrote.
Mr. Prosecutor,
Judge.
amazing job, sir.
Sir, you know, I saw your name up there, but I thought maybe you just did that and walked out of the room.
Absolutely not. What else do I have to do?
You're out there, you are in Minneapolis. You should be, shopping.
You know, you all really do over exaggerate my opportunities. You know, that's all I have to do.
There's plenty you can go out there. Did your wife end up going with you?
She is, and she says it's too cold outside. So I'm doing what a good husband does. I'm sitting here in this hotel room